Hey everyone, and welcome to an unboxing of the Fujifilm X30. The Fujifilm X30 is a reiteration of the Fujifilm X20, and prior to that you have the X10. The X10, X20, X30 is the baby brother series of the X100, X100S, and the X100T. Now, I'm sure that you guys are excited to see what's in the box, and although this unboxing is late, as the Fujifilm X30 already came out last year. It's just that I've always wanted to do my own unboxing. So let's see what's inside the box. You get a new phone. I'm just kidding. I placed it in there earlier. Of course, you get a warranty card. And then you have your manual. And this package comes with a free 8GB SD card from SanDisk. I took the liberty of opening it earlier just to fast track everything that we're doing. And now for what's in the box. A picture. It's a picture of my wife. How could they have known? Of course, I placed it in there earlier. Of course, this is a joke. This is the original battery of Fuji, and what I did was to buy another battery, a generic battery. Though of course there has been an improvement in the battery. This now does 470 shots by CPAS standards. X20's battery does only 270 shots. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this for testing instead of this one, because this only has a factory charge to it. And then we have the chargers. So now in the Fujifilm X30, if you wanted to charge the camera, you'd have to go with this charger. With its cable and charge the battery inside the camera. It doesn't come anymore with a wall charger, but if you still want to do that, you could buy a third-party charger where you could charge the battery outside the camera. You have the straps, and you have clips that goes with the straps. Now for the camera body. There. Let's put in the memory card and the batteries first. The card goes in like this. And the battery. To power on an X20, all you need to do is just remove the cap and rotate the ring. So from off to 28 it powers on, and the zoom ring goes all the way from 28 to 112. Mechanically zooming. It's not a digital zoom, it's a mechanical zoom. We have an extra ring here which didn't appear in the X20. So what it does is, with this button here, you can thereby control some of the functions and choose which ones are on top of, or you want to have an easy access to some of the things that you normally adjust, like the ISO and white balance. You still get the flash, same as the X20. Of course, the hot shoe and the general dial here, and you have your EV compensation, your shutter trigger here. This record button here is now the video record button. What used to sit there in the X20 was the function button, which moves down here. It also doubles up as the Wi-Fi button. You have your playback button here. So we took a couple of shots earlier. If you wanted to magnify some of the shots, you could press this wheel here, which would magnify it, and you could move it around, toggle along, or move around between photos. If you need to go back to the normal view, just press the wheel again. This wheel also doubles up as your aperture, to change your aperture, and also to change your shutter speed. But if you're on manual mode, you can do that. The wheel now changes your shutter, while this ring here changes your aperture. Other buttons are, you have your view button, which is now set for the eye sensor. So if your eye is already on the eyepiece, the sensor is able to detect that and switches off the LCD. And then you have your drive mode, you have your AEL and AFL button here, you have your Q button, which is a quick menu and access to the quick menu. Okay, for most of the things that we changed often. And then you have your four-way button here, four-way controller. Previously in the X20 you had a wheel here which was used to control or move around. Now you just have the menu system, and you could use the buttons here to move around or navigate through the menu. Outside the menu button you have dedicated buttons beginning with the macro mode. For two macro modes, you have the normal macro and you have the super macro. You have timer mode here for 10 seconds and 2 seconds. You have an AF button here where you could select the AF button, and it goes all the way around. If you keep pressing it, just returns it. It's like it doesn't have an edge to it. You can move it to the right, and then you keep pressing it, it goes back to the left. It's a very clever way of doing it. And then you have the flash mode here. And then if you already took a photo, you can go with the display and check to see your settings there. And of course I already mentioned this. Now the advantages of the X30 against the X20 is you have an external mic port here. Now you could use microphones instead of just using the built-in stereo mic. You have an HDMI port and you have your normal USB port, and then of course you still have the tripod port. It has a tiltable screen now, allowing you 90 degrees of tilt from the bottom, so that you can shoot from the hip or you can shoot from the ground without having to lie down, or you can also tilt it towards the top, towards the bottom. You could place it over your head now at 45 degrees. Okay, it has a built-in Wi-Fi. You have a bigger screen with more dots on it, and now it shoots 24p in video. So that's it. This is the Fujifilm X30. I hope you guys enjoyed my version of the Fujifilm X30's unboxing.